Many of you are fighting battles no one else can see. You wake up drained for no reason, blocked when you should be rising, surrounded by a heaviness you can't explain. But listen closely. Not every war is fought with the eyes. Some battles are waged in silence, deep within the spirit. And often the answer is far simpler than we think. There are certain foods, pure gifts of nature, that hold the power to cleanse, protect, and restore you. Eaten with intention, they can dissolve old stagnation, lift unseen burdens, and reawaken the light within you that no darkness can touch. Most people hear the word food and think only of nutrition, vitamins, minerals, or protein. They see food as fuel for the body, but what few realize is this. What you eat doesn't only feed your stomach, it feeds your energy. Every fruit, every leaf, every seed carries a frequency, an ancient signature encoded by the earth itself. The planet is alive, and everything it grows vibrates with purpose. These living foods were not just designed to sustain your body, but to fortify your spirit. Would you understand this? You begin to notice some foods leave you sluggish, clouded, and dull, while others make you feel lighter, clear, and untouchable. Your physical state mirrors your energetic state. That's why ancient traditions all over the world, long before science used fasting, herbs, and sacred meals, knew something modern life often forgets. The body is not separate from the spirit. It is the armor of the spirit. When the body is polluted, the spirit weakens. But when it's charged with natural life force, the spirit becomes a fortress. Now, think about how negativity works. It rarely announces itself. It slips in quietly through fatigue, distraction, and imbalance. When your energy is low and your body is full of lifeless foods, you become vulnerable to whatever feeds on weakness. That's why the link between what you eat and your spiritual defense is so profound. You can meditate, you can affirm, but if the body remains weak, your gate stays open. When you eat what carries life, what is grown, not manufactured, you're not just filling your stomach, you're fortifying your field. You're aligning with the same creative force that sustains the universe. Picture a fruit ripened under the sun, fed by the soil, washed by rain. It carries the essence of creation itself. And when you eat it, you bring that essence into your being. It becomes a shield, an invisible armor of light around you. That's why certain foods are essential when you're breaking patterns, lifting curses, or releasing generational heaviness. They restore balance to your system, power to your energy, and clarity to your mind. They awaken your inner defenses. A weak flame can be blown out by the smallest wind, but a strong fire consumes the darkness around it. The same is true of your spirit. Every meal you eat is a choice. Feed your weakness or feed your strength. Choose life. Choose clarity. Choose foods that empower you from the inside out, because true protection begins there. Darkness doesn't always attack loudly. It seeps in quietly, like water through the cracks of stone. And the more exhausted, distracted, or unbalanced you are, the wider those cracks become. Have you noticed how fear feels louder when you're tired? How doubt spreads faster when you're drained? That's no coincidence. A weakened body is an unguarded gate. Negativity thrives in low energy. It clings to the exhausted, the overprocessed, the ungrounded. That's why so many people under spiritual stress feel constant fatigue, sleepless nights, and mental fog. Their body has become an open channel for chaos. Modern diets don't help. Most of what people eat today is stripped of life, empty of light. It fills the belly but starves the spirit. And so they pray, they hope, they fight, but the door remains open. Yet the same body that can be a weakness can also become your greatest shield. When you feed it with life, when you purify what you allow inside, darkness loses its grip. It cannot attach to a vessel that vibrates with strength. Every bite of pure, living food becomes an act of protection. That's why those who live in harmony with clean energy, mindful habits, and inner awareness walk differently. They move through the world untouched. Their presence itself becomes a barrier that darkness cannot cross. They may walk through storms, but they remain steady. They may face resistance, but curses cannot bind them. Their body is not an entry point for darkness. It is a fortress of light, a temple that radiates strength. So if you truly want to resist dark energy and break the chain of misfortune, don't rely on words alone. Guard your vessel, because when the body is fortified, the spirit becomes untouchable. There are foods in this world that were never meant to simply satisfy hunger. They carry meanings far deeper than taste, messages woven into their very essence. For thousands of years across countless cultures, people have understood this truth. Some foods hold power used in ancient rituals of cleansing, healing, and renewal. These are not ordinary foods. They are symbols of purity, balance, and divine design, proof that nature was created with intention, and within that intention lies protection. Think of a simple fruit or herb, how it returns each season, asking for nothing, yet giving life again and again. Within it lives the memory of the earth, the patience of the soil, the clarity of rain, and the fire of the sun. When you consume something so pure, it doesn't just nourish your body, it awakens your spirit. It fills you with the current of life. That is why certain foods were placed upon altars, shared in sacred moments, and used to break curses and lift darkness. They were never only for survival, they were for transformation. The chosen food we speak of has long been known as a purifier, a shield, and a symbol of protection, not merely for its nutrients, but for its vibration. Its energy moves where words cannot, into the subtle spaces of the body. Where stagnation hides, where old burdens cling, it clears the pathways between body and spirit, restoring flow, the flow through which abundance, clarity, and peace return. When you eat it, you align yourself with generations before you, those who used it to break chains, to cleanse their spirit, to remind themselves that darkness has no claim over them. It becomes a declaration that you will not bow to fear, that you will not be consumed by shadow, that you will not live under any curse performed against you. But remember this, protection is not built in a single act. It is built through rhythm, through repetition, through devotion. Just as your body needs nourishment every day, your energy needs renewal. And that is why this food must be eaten regularly, once a week, to maintain your fortress of strength. Each time you consume it, it's like repairing the walls of your energy, sealing the cracks, refreshing your light. It becomes more than a meal. It becomes a ritual of remembrance. Each bite is a message to your spirit. I am clean. I am strong. I am guarded. It's not only about what enters your body, it's about what it symbolizes in your life. Because when you eat with awareness, you are not simply feeding your body. You are declaring victory, victory over fear, over poverty, over the grip of darkness. Protection never happens by chance. Strength must be maintained. Just as muscles grow through training, your spiritual armor grows through consistency. Darkness never sleeps, so your light must never fade. The habit of consuming this sacred food is not superstition. It is discipline. It is awareness. It is alignment. It is your way of reminding both your spirit and your body that you will not let your guard down, that you will not leave the doors open. And when you create this rhythm, something powerful begins to happen. You align yourself with a cycle of renewal. Each week, your body is not just nourished. It is recharged with invisible strength. It's like pouring fresh oil into a lamp, ensuring that the flame never dies. A spark may fade quickly, but a flame that is constantly fueled burns so fiercely that no darkness can overcome it. This weekly practice ensures your shield is never weak, your defense is never lowered, and your energy never open to decay. Because what protects you most is not power alone. It's persistence. Many people start strong, but few remain consistent. They pray when desperate but forget when comfortable. They cleanse when heavy but neglect when light returns. Consistency, that quiet discipline, is what separates temporary relief from lasting freedom. Eating this sacred food once a week is not about superstition. It is about rhythm. It is about self-mastery. It is a declaration that says, I will remain aware. I will remain strong. I will not leave myself unguarded. Imagine your life as a fortress. If you guard it one day and abandon it the next, the enemy will simply wait. But if each week you reinforce your walls, if you cleanse, strengthen, and renew, the enemy grows weary and eventually disappears. That is the power of persistence. It is not the dramatic moments that protect you. It's the quiet repetition of small, powerful choices. Each time you follow this cycle, you send a message to the unseen. Witchcraft cannot rest here. Poverty cannot chain me. Darkness cannot touch my light. You give negativity no opportunity to take root. You maintain your shield, keep your fire alive, and ensure your path remains clear. Understand this, protection belongs to the consistent. Eat this food once a week, not out of fear but out of strength. Because when you stay disciplined, no curse, no shadow, and no force can stand against you. Poverty is not only about the lack of money, it is a condition, a vibration, a shadow that convinces you to shrink when you should expand. It is a force that turns abundance into scarcity. It closes doors right when opportunity knocks. It whispers that struggle is your destiny. Many people work hard, yet nothing grows. They save, yet losses appear from nowhere. They build, yet everything they touch seems to collapse. It's might random. This is the residue of negative energy, a spiritual interference that thrives in low vibration. It feeds on discouragement, fear, and fatigue. But light and darkness cannot share the same space. Once the light within you grows strong, poverty begins to lose its grip. The food we speak of is not merely nourishment. It is alignment. It restores the balance between body and spirit. And in doing so, it dismantles the hidden roots of lack. When you eat it with awareness and intention, you are not feeding your stomach. You are declaring, "Lack has no place within me. I am aligned with abundance." Because poverty at its core thrives where weakness lives. It convinces the mind to settle. It weakens the will to act. It blinds the eyes so opportunity remains unseen. But when your energy is clean and your spirit strong, that fog begins to lift. Ideas arrive more clearly. Courage replaces hesitation. And step by step, the old chains begin to fall away. This is why ancient wisdom always linked food, spirit, and prosperity. They knew that pure food carries not just energy but blessing, a frequency that restores balance and draws favor. And where balance and favor exist, poverty cannot stay, because true prosperity isn't about possessions. It's about energy. It's about alignment. It's about living in harmony with the natural rhythm of growth, freedom, and expansion. You may wonder, how can something so simple make such a difference? But simplicity is often where the greatest power hides. A small key can open the heaviest door. A single seed can grow into a forest that feeds generations. In the same way, one simple act, done with intention and consistently, can change the entire direction of your life. Eating this food once a week is that act. It is the quiet key that unlocks the doors poverty has sealed shut. Understand this truth. The moment you strengthen both your spirit and your body, poverty begins to lose its grip and abundance starts to flow. Eat with awareness and you will witness change. Curses dissolve. Opportunities open. Blessings find their way to you, because life was never meant to be lived in fear, constantly watching your back, waiting for the next storm. Life was meant to be lived in power, protected, abundant, and free. You were designed to move with strength, with clarity, and with freedom. But to live that way, you must unite the physical and the spiritual. You must bring body and spirit into harmony. When your body is purified and your spirit is strong, something extraordinary happens. You begin to live in alignment, and alignment creates abundance. Abundance is not only wealth, it is peace of mind, health in the body, and strength in the soul. It is walking into any room untouched by negativity. It is waking each morning with courage, clarity, and conviction, knowing your life is guided, grounded, and protected. But this kind of power is not built in one moment. It's built through rhythm, step by step, choice by choice, week by week. And one of the most powerful choices you can make is to stay consistent with the small actions that keep your body strong and your spirit sharp. The food we speak of is more than nourishment. It is a reminder, a living symbol that you are connected to creation, that you are not fragile, and that no curse can define your story. Eating it once a week is not about superstition or ritual. It is about the message you send to yourself and to the unseen. The message is clear. You will not live under the grip of curses. You will not let poverty write your future. And you will not allow darkness to direct your path. You will live free. You will live free. You will live strong. Each week that you practice this discipline, you reinforce that truth. You carve it deeper into your being. Over time, the fear that once bound you begins to fade. The heaviness that once followed you begins to lift. Doors that were closed begin to open. Opportunities that once seemed far away start to appear before you. Your energy shifts. Your presence changes. You begin to attract peace, protection, and prosperity effortlessly. This is not about perfection. It is about persistence. You do not have to be flawless to live in abundance. You only have to be consistent, because a single drop of water falling again and again can carve through stone, and your weekly act of purification, your weekly choice of strength, will carve a path of freedom and blessing through your life. So never forget, when body and spirit move in unity, you become unstoppable, unshakable, and unbreakable. Eat this once a week, and you will not only drive away darkness, poverty, and limitation, you will rise into the fullness of the life you were always meant to live.